Okay.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. بدأت كلمة خلاص ستي مخرجني مخرج ستي وجعلني من سلطان سيرة.
Take. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. So this is the second book of the author Masaru Emoto. This is the summary where he's talking about crystals and crystals purification की कौन सी stage होती है वो frozen stage होती है and then that changes has started taking place चाहे वो आपके thoughts हैं चाहे वो आपके words हैं चाहे वो कोई भी किसी भी type की vibrations हैं and he used here is high speed photography and then he's talking about the positive and negative energy the more clear it is, the more clear it is, the more brilliant and complex snowflake pattern you can see, and the more polluted it is, it would be the negative, incomplete, asymmetrical pattern, and that's also about your energy, positive and negative stuff. And all my request from the audience side is, just have open heart, open mind, and take the good part and leave the rest stuff. Another thing he's exploring, he would continuously go into the spirit, body, mind, and heart triangle. And if there are many layerings, it depends हमारी कितनी understanding है. But for example, the badan is your body, the akal is your intellect, the ruh is your spirit or soul, whatever you want to call it. So it's just food for thought. And the book is starting with the background of the writer, okay, how he started from the graduate and then department and focus, but then he changed in 1992 when he was first introduced in the concept of microcluster water, and then he got into the mystery of water. And he's not a scientific researcher, the proper hypothesis theory stuff, but it's more like, let's be as a human, we need to be, afala yatadabbarun, original thinker. So he's like, have more perspectives, what truly speaks to your nature. And then he's like, his start is again frozen and the water in the true nature. Another research ke duran, there was this thing, what is the difference between the alkaline and alkalized water, and what is their hard water and soft water difference? Because the Nestle bottle that we all use frequently, that is mostly, the hard water, and it is causing your kidneys. And so I will leave this to you pretty much. Basically, he's talking about the two things in chapter 1 that we are going to cover today. That is spiritual consciousness and the health. What he's saying in spiritual consciousness is while reading this book, we are not just starting with a different perspective or ourselves. हम अपने आप को different तरीके से देखना है, but हमारे इर्द-गिर्द world. And what will change that? It will evolve your worldview. So that is a pretty good question. What is your worldview? Being a Muslim, being a human, and many other layers. Then there is he's आगे वो spiritual consciousness को link करेगा religion से, spirit से, and quantum leap से कि how आपकी quantum mechanics से कैसे relation होता है, and of course at the end the peace. But again, Rumi is also saying, it starts within myself, from the inner self. And again, the Rumi is saying, what is that exactly, those layerings, what he's talking about. So maybe we need to take a different approach. And of course, I'm linking it here with EI and Arkan Islam, that cleansing positive and negative energy within starting with ourselves. And the Arkan Islam, the mazhab, the basic is, that is just the start of it. It's not the end. And then there is this pretty interesting theory, आप रोज सुबह उठो and go and have the 20 to 30 minutes walk, which is the grounding. This process is also found in, during the namaz. We are not praying like Christians or Yehudi and other Buddhists. We are doing it on, zameen ke upar, with that prostration specifically. So what is interchanging? That magnetic field. And what is it doing? It's the energy, it's the healing, or what else it is. And then anxiety, I'm connecting here with the EI, your electromagnetic field. अगर आप chemistry में जाते हो, so your cortisol, what is going there again, and जब आप इन सब चीजों से निकलते हो, so then there is, at the end you will go to the healing process with positive energy and the conscious manifestation. And at the end it's all about whatever you are, however you are vibrating, और जो आप बाहर अपने throw away कर रहे हो, you are going to attract that. Then the second point that he's studying in chapter 1 is after consciousness, is this healing power. आपको ये four का link नजर आएगा, soul, mind, body, and heart, and it starts with gratitude, which of course in Islam is Alhamdulillah, and how these askars, these zikr, are they a kind of a healing energy, and this appreciation, whatever relationship you are, there's always this appreciation, respecting the basic foundation from where it starts. And then this is pretty much, the magnetic field, why we crave nature, why we always want to go to northern areas or Switzerland. So yeah, as he moves forward, he says, get the thoughts, the feelings, and add your EI का emotions. At the end ये चीजें कैसे निकलती हैं आपके अंदर से, वर्ड से निकलती है, साउंड एनर्जी से निकलती है. और अगर हम हेल्थ पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से बात करें आपकी बॉडी के अंदर, so what is it, the basic material जो हर living चीज के अंदर है, plants, animals, anything, there is water. And these are more water molecules inside our body, with water, the membrane, the cytoplasm. So everything is in water, even you take the neuron as well. And then this is pretty interesting. It's from the Gospel of Thomas. What exactly is thought? When you make the two one, it is the thought is like that intention. अब अपना, for example, what's your last chapter before your death? So that goal that you wanna achieve, बेशक आप उसमें fail होते हो या try करते हो. So that intention, that is the thought. और इमोशन क्या है, वो टू को जो आप वन में ऐड करते हो, that is you're creating those feelings. और आप उसे विजुअलाइज करते हो, द मैनिफेस्टेशन, आप उसे विजुअलाइज करते हो, दैट यू विल गेट इट. सो यू आर पुटिंग दैट फ्रीक्वेंसी, what you want to achieve, that is definitely a positive one. Then the writer is starting with the questions. Let's take evaluate our life, which is again emotional intelligence. Are you happy? Who you are? Of course, it depends, because it is such a subjective question. Do you have a sense of peace in your heart right now in a moment? And do you have this security of feeling about your future? Because this is another track जिस पे शैतान आपका present waste करवाता है, या past या future. To be honest, we don't have anything. We just have the present right now. And number 4, he's asking feeling of anticipation when you wake up in the morning. What is it like? So उसके बाद वो खुद ही आपको जवाब दे रहा है कि mostly people, when you ask them, are you happy? No, they say no. And most people, they're just hoping for. So इतनी pain हमारी life में क्यों है? What is going around in the world? Why this negative energy? How about positive energy? And there are some other questions. If you're a Muslim or if you're a thinker, to ask yourself, are you at peace with yourself? Is there that contentment, that satisfaction? What kind of person do you want to be? Of course, we need to have the moral codes or those purpose. Anyone can have anything. But what do you want in your life? What do you crave for? Which make you forget that materialistic stuff जिसके पीछे हम सब भाग रहे हैं. And so yeah, and then he's answering those questions. It's actually the chaos. It's actually those negative vibration. We all are in a condition with a confusion, our unorganized lifestyle, unorganized thoughts, emotions, and whether we come to our third space, first space, second space, office, university, anywhere, we are tired out. And what's the bigger part is the newspaper, the media, the TV. It's bombarding you with the negative energy. Whether you are work, there are problems, there are miscommunication, misunderstandings, and what is the source of this all negativity? There is, and then you are being overwhelmed. And on earth, to be honest, these points, I guess this is my point of view, you can disagree. These are just a distraction from something big. When you will go into the depth of worldview, we humans are much more than this. And this is a pretty good picture that we all are suffering right now. And you can research Bruce Lipton on this topic. He has pretty much good stuff to say. Then he's talking about, what separates us, for example, from plants, from animals, living beings, है ना वो भी. So, and कहाँ जाके we human get stagnant. So there is that rigidity, when you stop growing. And what makes us flourish, that is flexibility, growing and flowing. And what is the common between this and water? That is water, it flows, and if it's static, it is stagnant, it is with the negative energy. And so does the water inside your body works like that too. So what he's saying is humans should live like a water, you can organize your own answer. And because water is like always flowing, it's organic, it's not artificial, and it's formless. It's adaptable. And what makes a dead sea a dead sea? There are different dimensions layered in this question, where one answer we can get from Quran and Hadith and many more. And what makes flowing water pure? I'm thinking I'm asking not just from Islamic point of view. I'm overlapping it with the science too, because in short, science and Islam or spiritual or religion, they are twins. You can't separate them. Then he's again answering further that the problem is suffering. We enjoy it. अगर हम suffer नहीं कर रहे और कोई और suffer कर रहा है, we enjoy it. That is the selfishness, egocentrism जहाँ हम पहुंच चुके हैं. Whether you are oppressed or being oppressed, and who might be responsible for all these sufferings. And the problem is, we are just being divided and divided. This whole and then chaos, there's again chaos and looking our way out common. So but the question are same and answer is also same. We want to come out of this chaos, we want to figure it out, but the answer is pretty eluded and pretty effective. What's the answer? So we're starting from the beginning of a human being, like how we were born, and our ratio of water started from this 99% to 50%. The day one to old age when we'll die, and the physical perspective, or आप देखो आपके अंदर, आप water से start हुए हो. But writers saying that's not the whole one-dimensional story. There are other dimensions too. So how people should live that positive energy, being healthy, can it be one answer? Or maybe if you go more into depth, that would be the purification जो आपके अंदर water flow कर रहा है और जो आपकी body को बना रहा है. That is just an idea to give what is going in our inside our system, the organs, how much water does it have, eyes, heart. You can, but इसे update कर लीजिएगा. It's just an idea to give. Then he's talking about, it's not just human body जो affect हो रही है water से, इसके inside क्या चल रहा है, जो आपकी five senses, जो आपकी sensory senses हैं, जो आपकी वो जो information ले रही हैं, just like an antenna. And then the EI, जो आपकी thought, emotion, focus अंदर चल रहा है. And then mostly we are wasting our time locus of control से जो आपकी चीजें बाहर हैं उसको control करने में, instead focusing on the locus of control जो circle के अंदर चीजें इस पे आप control कर सकते हो. So it's about having that choice, because human is the only creation that can change its vibration. Then he's talking about the water, what makes it pure, that is the movement. And isn't human is supposed, especially the Muslims are supposed to do that, ilm hasil kare apne aakhri सांस tak. And then that was the Islam point of view. And then the problem right now we have that AI, another pretty interesting topic. And okay, what makes AI so wonderful? That is being flexible, learning day by day about whoever the user is. And uska opposite, we Muslims are pretty much going through that. Then he talks about the water that is dying inside us when it gets trapped. And water must circulate, it should be constant, and जब आपकी वो चीज stagnant हो जाती है, so what's the outcome? You become sick, you become your lifestyle is unhealthy. So the problem starts when your body starts decaying. And the blood, of course, the thing is your brain and heart, but at the end brain आपका sleeping के दौरान during deep sleep वो भी सो जाता है, but the heart is something that keeps going on. So that's a life threatening thing. It's just we have to become conscious about it. So when your blood becomes stagnant, उसको relate करें आपके emotions से, अगर वो stagnant हो जाते हैं. So your emotions, when they are stagnant, so what's coming out, what's the result? So then again he's linking the body, soul and mind. कि आपके जो mind, thoughts, emotion, feelings हैं, आपके mind का, this is proven by the study, it has a direct link on your body. And your body knows it, where there is a positive environment हो, आपके environment का हमेशा आपके ऊपर असर है, or is it a negative one? And there's this positive and negative energy again. So energy flow throughout your body, and of course there's a joy, there would be a stagnant sadness. And of course so the solution is like water, move, change, flow, flexible. And then again he's talking about अगर आपसे पूछा जाए what is water, you can one answer of yours would be life force, because 50% of body अगर आपकी body से निकाल लिया जाए right now, you can't maintain a life. So and आपके water के अंदर क्या हो रहा है, आपके blood के अंदर क्या है, blood है, bodily fluids हैं, which is nourishing all over your body. So flow of water enable you to live the active life. And actually water is just like a freight car जो आपके blood है, which is transporting the nutritions. And अगर आप उसको stagnant कर देते हो, अगर आपके veins का block हो जाता है रास्ता, so what is at the end going, आपकी बाकी body भी affect होगी, filthy हो जाएगी, the negative energy would spread. So the point is, make it clean, make be yourself, conscious. Then he's taking a U-turn on the homeopathic and the medical community, which homeopathic all revolves around the water. And there's pretty much positive negative views about it, so you can make your own view. What he's saying, it's originally started with in Germany, but it goes pretty back, from the, it's like 19th century initial era, 50 years, but it goes back to Hippocrates. And then it's like, their treatment, unka one liner answer is that homeopathic ka ki, you treat like with light. If there is a lead poison, so you treat it like, for example, 1 part of lead in a trillion molecules of water, or 1 part in 10 raised to power 400. That is the way how homeopathic work. And then it's, in other words, agar aapne usko samajhna, it is a dilution, jo ke the more you dilute that, the more greater effect it has on your body. And the more denser the poison in your body is, for example lead, तो आप उतनी ही ज़्यादा कहते हैं dilution ratio को increase करोगे. In other words, he's saying कि, information is the major thing that is being copied inside the water, and to cancel out that information, so you have to use exactly that poison. Then he's saying that water has the ability to copy and memorize that information. And usko aage jaake link kara with the ocean, for example, ocean water. It has its memory from the day one. All the creatures that are present are dead or all that. And then he's taken another example, that is glaciers. It contains millions of years of the planet history. Then he's in this book, his core was to understand water is to understand the cosmos, and in short, he's linking water is the root of everything. Whether you have to understand water, yourself, your body, your cosmos, your nature, or your life, anything, it all links together. So his journey started from this line when he read this, casually opened this book, and two snow crystals are exactly the same. That's how he got curious and he started discovering. And that's where he's trying to say as well, have the open heart, and then you'll start noticing small things, observing them, and that will lead you to discovery. Then at the end, he's like saying, is there a connection between these words and our soul, these water crystals and our soul, ruh, spirit? And because the condition of soul has totally an impact on your on the body, under jo aapka water, and it has a big effect, whether you are, it's a good health or it's a sickness. And uh, another Islamic point of view is the zikr, the askar, the tasbih. Can it change the personality? So it's just a throwaway question to you. Now he's starting with the his water crystal photographs, how universe is made up of, and it's pretty interesting, especially when he's talking about the love, and when you say the gratitude specifically, and then you say the sorry part, and the thank you in all different languages, how the crystals are formed, and the wisdom word in English, German, and Japanese. Again, the hexagon crystal is pretty common in everywhere. And then the cosmo word in Japanese, English, and German language, how the principle of cosmos is totally, transcend the language difference. Even the language is different, but it's making almost identical crystals. And then there was when children were told, when they said few times that you are beautiful, and then several times how that crystal got cleared. And when you totally ignore the water, so you can say distorted, so crystal is not anymore. And these are the symphonies by Mozart and other singers. How, on the right frequency, the right note, there is a specific crystals are being found. And then there were the weathers, how weathers has an effect, different weather, summer, spring, autumn, and winter crystals. And there is the negative ones. When you say you fool, negative words, negative energy, you make me sick. And when you order it specifically, and so yeah, uska opposite, do instead of ordering, there is let's do it, a beautiful crystal. And then again, insulting someone, you fool. And specifically this music, heavy metal music, how is it distorting the crystal. Then he was talking about the harmful electromagnetic waves. Okay, simple distilled water was taken, and it was first their crystal was hexagonal, pretty symmetrical. When they place it near television, computer, mobile phone, microwave ovens, so that crystal is totally distorted. And why radiologist says, कि आपकी body में के साथ phone नहीं होना चाहिए, आपके pockets में नहीं होना चाहिए, even जब आप रात को सो तब आपके पास नहीं होना चाहिए. So there is a whole research on this. These were different. Then these were the rare cases जिसमें there was this lake, and उसमें पहले there was a distorted crystal, but after the prayer there was started forming this hexagonal beautiful structures. And this was another one, the shrine. And either crystal resembles the character of the in Japanese gratitude. And then there is another in dolphin. The crystal was, a pretty healing one. And an interesting one was before earthquake started coming at this location, so Shemen prefecture. So the crystal banna us jagah ke underground water ke stop ho gaye the. And then earthquake took place, and then slowly it started making the crystals again. Then he's saying that single drop of water has the various ripple effects on an individual. And it's another perspective is, that जो आपको prostration में जो Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala के सामने that crying है. So what is that? Does that has any link with hair? And this was a whole research. You can open it on official Masaru Emoto. The distilled water, and then it was replaced by organo. So there are pretty less crystals, and then distilled water with organo, there are pretty much more. Initial Turo specifically. So now that we have seen the water crystal photographs with our eyes, so अब हमारी consciousness, एक leap लेती है. And there's whole this field cymatics. You can easily Google it or YouTube it. Okay, how on liquid, solid, gas, everything, the sound energy. I'm right now not talking. I'm just talking about the instrumental music has its effect. And then there are these specifically hertz frequencies जिसमें जाके आपका specific crystallization होती है water की. And then he's saying, now once your eyes have taken it, अब आपने देख लिया है, आपको यकीन आ गया है, now your conscious being charged and you are being awakening, because instantly, okay, what's going on there, and what's your thought, what are you feeling? There is this change. So water is not just a substance, it's a life force of majestic nature. And now right to realize is, this is some abnormality. Her liquid state of substance में नहीं होता periodic table के. There is something जो इसको mysterious बनाती है, जो that it's used as a cleansing material, and also in plants, animals, any living thing, the water is the key. And related with the voodoo part in the Islam, and the platonic elements, waters, earth, air, and fire. Then he's saying it's an elusive energy because it has that effect of when it's formed, and specifically just की pure stage, that is the ice crystal. So जो आपकी soul है, जो आपकी feelings हैं, जो आपकी vibrations हैं, उसका आपके soul पे असर हो रहा है, और आपकी soul पे direct किसका असर हो रहा है? Those words. Because words, once you speak, it's a sound energy, it's in the waves, and that wavelength is frequency. So it's the energy of that consciousness, and the words you are speaking or hearing, whether you are conscious or whether you are unconscious, for example, songs. Then he's talking about those ice crystals. Does that have any link directly or indirectly with the soul? Because it is the mystery of the universe, and it is a key to unlock your consciousness, that awareness, that EI part, not just to understand your role in this, but also the universe. So maybe we can say water is a mirror of the soul, and it has many forms because it's organic. it takes any form. And but what it do, it also align with the consciousness of human. So the question arises, what give water ability to reflect? What is exactly is in people's soul? So that the key is in quantum mechanics. Existence is vibration. Everything is vibrating. Everything in a universe, whether you can see it, feel it, it is in a vibration state. Whether it's a concrete block, a table, a chair, a wood, a rock, you, a human body. So this is the fundamental principle of the universe. And here comes the quantum mechanics. Just for a layperson to understand it, it is, कि everything is vibration. और जब आप एक material में, for example, अपनी body के core में जाते हो, so the smallest, tiniest particle is, these are particles. It's a game of particles and waves. For example, if there is an atom, so there is a central nucleus, और उसके इर्द गिर्द there is a revolving of electron. So what makes it interesting is the number of those electrons and the shapes of that electrons. And that's how that particular substance, for example, here, our body vibrates at that frequency. So there is one nucleus, but every electron and the number of electron and the shape of electron rotating around is and producing the wave that's setting out the frequency. So in two words, if you have to say what's going on there in quantum mechanics, it's the movement, is the vibration on and off, positive, negative, and it's the incredible speed. And here's again, he's quoting a lot of Buddhism, that which can be seen has no form, and that which can't be seen has form. For example, आप human body को देख रहे हो, but आप क्या नहीं देख रहे? That is the vibration of human body. Can we interpret it that way? This is the most interesting one where he says, okay, आप कहते हो कि आप vibration नहीं देख सकते. So what happened if you are sitting with friends in a cafe and there's somebody and your mood with your friend is pretty warm and friendly and free flowing, you being yourself. But then now somebody really tired, anxious came into the room. So suddenly that door opens and you see that person dark in cold mode, but you can feel that thing. So what is that? So it is that human vibrates. Every human has a unique frequency, and that is your sensory skills that is able to feel that vibration of another's. These are emotional frequency chart, where it's all about, whether you are happy, you are at this 540 hertz, and if you are sad, you are at 75 hertz. So it's your choice, which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us, which one you want to try. Then he's saying it's not just here, it's also the same principle is also applicable in objects, location, other than that. For example, there are some locations, for example, Makkah and Medina, there is this time आपको stretch होता हुआ feel होता है. There are some places जहाँ accidents happen होते हैं. There are some locations जहाँ business successful होते हैं. Then he's saying it's not just there, the phenomena is also present in our nature phenomena. For example, lightning and storm, there is a change in energy. Or when the natural disaster happen, so there is intense energy. And then he's saying, so everything is in a state of vibration. So जब आप vibrate करते हो कोई भी चीज, then it creates a sound, it creates a wave. And this is just an eye-opening and understanding for starting for the universe. In it's a new life to the soul, and some people, there are also studies present. There have some people, हमारी तो unique 15 to 20,000 hertz a limit of ears, but there are certain people जिनकी इससे ज़्यादा है, and they can hear the trees and plants talks. Why our ear has this limit of 15 to 20,000 hertz? It is, हमारी betterment के लिए अल्लाह सुब्हानहू व तआला ने हमें दिया हुआ है, so we can have the better sleep. Otherwise, we couldn't even sleep. So the nature in one word is a balance, and near to nature, the more balanced you are. So the water in one word, you can say it's a master listener, whether it's a word written on a page or a sound or even your emotion. And then there was this, how the animals hearing frequency range, the bat is at the top, then dolphin, then rat, and then human. And the music, interesting part is music, spoken words. What are they doing? Directly connection with your heart. That is the vibration. Now it depends. आपके lyrics अच्छे हैं, आपका music अच्छा है कि नहीं. And it's easily understood. And there is conscious and subliminal messages. And there are pretty much documentaries on that part too. And why Islam is चीज से आपको मना किया गया? What is the toxicity? And what is in EI related chemistry में क्या change आ रहा है आपका? And the positive side of what is being in Buddhism, for example, there are chants, and in Islam there is zikr. So maybe nature is more towards, healing stuff. And those written words also have the ability to emit the unique vibration. Just because it's not a sound in it, it doesn't mean water cannot create it. So these, you can change these vibrations into another form, whether you can see it or not, but it's all linked with the consciousness. And just a second. Then he's talking about primal types, the ancient time, जब लोग nature में रहते थे, so their ear senses of ear and those things were pretty fast. They can detect the danger because they were too sensitive to those frequencies and sounds. And one trick was कि उन्हें पता था क्या natural sound है and क्या artificial sound है. He's talking about the water phase particles are linked together, form crystals. And so when it's more positive, when it's near to nature, there you will find this hexagonal shape, which is pretty stable. But if it's not, so it would be an incomplete crystal form, and that would be just like this, distorted. For example, the example of you fool. Then he's talking about the spellings. In English, the spell, जो literally word nikla hai, that is from the spell. Every word has the energy, so use those words wisely, whether it's on your clothes, whether you use it frequently in your speech, what. And in other ears se connect karne ke liye, how water, the cells in your body react to everything that is in your mind, and what is in your mind is your thoughts, emotions and feelings, और जो बाहर से आपके antennas के तौर पे आपके five senses you कर रहे हैं. So whether you bring negativity, it's gonna attack your own immune system. This is from a journal, and here's its detail, where he says that the human being just organic matter se bane hai. Each matter has its own unique frequency. And अगर हम उसे octaves में देखें, which is piano में आप उसके alphabets of keys देख सकते हो. So that is a central C, which frequency has the 262 hertz. And यानी इसका मतलब ये है कि जो human vibrate कर रहा है, that is 570 trillion times per second, and that is a pretty much incredible hidden potential. Why we don't know that, why we don't use it. And then there was this chart on sound of colors, okay, and the heart, I guess it's an old one, but you can check on the recent research, okay, which one is the updated one. The C note in the piano, and every organ in your body has its own hertz in frequency. You can see here, and how it's linking with the green color, and that's pretty much a big amount, the trillion hertz, 570 trillion hertz. And this was an astronomical number of your neurons in your brain. And the same number of stars is in our Milky Way. So we kind of have a celestial brain. The problem is, why don't we use it? Here's another quote from him. The human being holds a universe within and filled with overlapping frequencies, and the result is a symphony of cosmic proportions. And everything that vibrates can be explained or written in a mathematical values. And they say there is a whole 369 universal numbers. So what's going behind there? And again, the quoting Rumi, everything in the universe is within you. Ask all from yourself. And quoting Iqbal, apne man mein doob ja. So what is there that everyone is talking about, whether a Muslim or a non-Muslim? And the writer says he take every theory, like Duri Mafasa theory, because every sound in the cosmology, in universe is, at the end, it comes to the 7 different sounds, 7 parts. And though they are infinite things, उसमें आपकी probabilities बन सकती हैं. For example, आप piano keys ले लो, high octave and low octave, but it is the same one. And the tuning fork, this is actually the resonance kit. This tuning fork, A is vibrating on a certain frequency, let's say 220 hertz or 440 hertz. This is not vibrating, it's just still the tuning fork B. But it start taking its sound waves and it start vibrating on that pitch, on that frequency. That is what's called resonance, and it happens in human beings. And that's why he's saying when you meet a stranger, and you direct and instantly you hit. So there is one concept that Islam gives us, and that is kind of, I guess, Abu Huraira hadith ka mafhum ka ki hadith ka mafhum ke ke alme arwa mein aap jinke saath mil gaye the, or maybe there were groups. तो जिनके साथ आप instantly hit करते हो, that is the concept from there. Or another thing, अगर आपने इस life में देखना है, that the writer is trying to say, he's portraying it, you know, you people, अगर आप instantly hit कर रहे हो in friendship or in any relationship, or either you are a daughter and father or mother, so that is that frequency जो आपको लगता है आप देख नहीं सकते, but your sensory skills can sense it. But the interesting part is, if you don't like someone and that person approaches you, or आप reaction देते हो, action reaction होता है, so you are still resonating in some way, you know, जो clashes आ रहे हैं. Then he's trying to give the secret of Japanese martial art के there it's the resonance that is being practiced कि win आपने करना है but without fighting. And यानी in short, जिस तरह ट्यूनिंग फॉर्क था, आप दोनों ने रेजोनेट नहीं करना, जिस तरह ये एक्शन करिए आप उस तरह रिएक्शन नहीं दोगे. So because usually it's about how we fight, and then this usual concept जो हमारे education system है, fight करो and win करो, so that is really low level. So this is a big thing, you know, winning without fighting. And then there are human frequencies में जब compatibility and incompatibility आती है, the resonance is again one of the many factors. And to be the human fundamental thing वो कह रहा है कि we can't accept as a human, you know, someone different from us, तो वहाँ हमारी clashes और वो चीज़ आती है. And then he's saying कि, you know, resonance can even occur, right? You know, if the one tuning fork was 220 hertz, another was 440 hertz, different frequencies, but multiple वो एक ही है, multiply by 2 हो रहा है, 220 hertz into 2 and 440 hertz. So this is the piano keys, you know, this higher or lower octaves होते हैं, but this is same, yani there is a relationship in both. So even there is 2-fold, 4-fold, 8-time multiply or either they are half, you know, still the principle of relationship, you know, udhar apply ho raha hai. That is the resonance. Another thing between human, again, the vibration of frequency, of course, hoti hai. And the more there is the you know, the same like each other, the resonance hoti hai, then the respect, and the more, you know, you guys aap apni utni zyada potential pe zyada jate ho, because you are actually raising the frequency. And then he puts an example. Usually, for example, that first tuning fork agar 10 की frequency पे था, तो अब मे बी सेकंड ट्यूनिंग फोर्क यानी इंसानों में वो एग्जांपल दे रहा है, सो नेक्स्ट में भी अगर 10 होगा या होगी, so you will resonate, you know, you will get along. Or maybe the both hypothetical another situation is that you are 10, another person is 12, still there would be that resonance, yani apne se low nahi, so the resonance come there as well. And then he gave the example of sparrows, yani to be actual, it's a pretty detailed ke languages kis tarah hoti hain, animals की और हजरत सुलेमान किस तरह समझते थे, and he had hold that new knowledge. But if you ever go to the park or anywhere, you can also notice a single bird has different, you know, way of talking. But we can't, if you observe, you can observe, but you know, usually हम humans वो slight variations नहीं pick कर सकते, but animals have that. And then he's ending with, you know, के the only species on this earth is the human जो कि अपनी frequency change कर सकती है, upper and lower. और अगर आप उसे इस्लामिक पर्सपेक्टिव में देखो, so you know, we have the potential कि हम animalistic लेवल पे गिर जाएं, या हम ऊपर औलिया की उस, you know, going towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the ihdinas siratal mustaqim, उस तरफ भी जा सकते हैं. But we have to become conscious. But this is a two-edged sword, you know, जो आप जैसा फिर वो करोगे, वो चीज़ आपको वापस भी आएगी. It's a positive energy, maybe आपके वे में वापस ना आए, but वो वापस आएगी. Or if you are putting through greedy egocentrism and negative, so you are actually destroying not just around your environment, the harmony जो nature में है, आप अपने आप को भी destroy कर रहे हो. And at the end, just ending it, it was pretty linking with the EI thing. You know, this is the problem. We are so dopaminic, you know, we don't speak first thinking procedure. We speak and then we think. But the problem lies there. First, you have to take the step back and then you have to think, and अपना dopaminic energy को control करो, अपने उस chemical को. And the problem, the pretty hard one is, you know, आप बोलने से पहले सोचो, what I'm telling you, it's a true or false. Is it really necessary? Because there is another hadith in which Hazur Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam is saying, you know, कि it's better कि आप positive words use करो, अच्छे words में बात करो, या otherwise silence को maintain करो. And again, the EI biggest part is empathetic, not the toxic empathy, the right empathy part, which comes under the umbrella of compassion. So far, what we have covered is, how the जो सुमीना जी was relating was कि आप हुबरमैन लैब को YouTube पे या other पर पे सर्च कर सकते हो कि how he is talking about जब आप अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह वाली स्टेज में जाते हो, gratitude वाले पॉजिटिव एनर्जी में थ्रो आउट कर रहे होते हो अपने अंदर से आउटसाइड एनवायरनमेंट में, सो आपका ना सिर्फ सेरोटोनिन, एंडोमॉर्फिन, ऑर्गेनिक डोपामिन इंक्रीज होता है, positive, totally organic, nothing artificial. And then it was the link between soul and crystal, and how the everything existence is their vibration, and the quantum mechanics, and how frequencies are just not relating in our lives, around our stuff, in phenomena of nature and everywhere, how the spelling actually English language is made up of, and the writer point of view, Rumi point of view, how we can just not understand what using water as a base fundamental block universe ko aapne understand karna hai, apne aap ko karna hai. And then the piano, human vibrations, neurons, how they are linked with the celestial number of Milky Ways and those stars, and how our ancient ancestors used these sensitivity, the five senses. And in short, human resonates, everything resonates. So that's all out from me. Thank you.